What's going on, y'all? Back with another video doing some ranked 2v2 arena on the Holy Priest. This queue session was between 2100 and 2200 MMR. We fought a lot of Windwalker monks, a lot of arms warriors, a lot of death knights. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed these. Sorry I haven't posted in the last few weeks. I've been in the process of getting ready to move. We're going to be moving houses, so I know all of you know how fun that process can be. So it'll be good once we finally get moved. But man, it's a stressful process right now. But yeah, so this matchup was interesting. It was a Mistweaver and a Windwalker. It's Windwalker's pretty good right now, you know, and Enhance took a pretty big nerf. So right here, you know, we kind of want to try and pull the Windwalker into a bad position and just make it uncomfortable for the Mistweaver. So you can see Sorgal start to kite around the corner, and the Windwalker lines his healer. So I'm going to stun him here in a second, and Sorgal gets an Ascendance proc, and he finishes him off. So we actually lost to those guys on a different map where the Windwalker was able to tool us better. I think that was the first time we fought them. I think the second time he never aligned his healer, and they eventually like ran us out of mana. So this is another one that's really interesting. It was a Resto Shaman, Unholy DK. So normally we would not win this matchup because we can't win on mana, and the Unholy DK, it just does really, really good pressure in 2v2. So what I like to do, which I didn't do a great job in this match, I did it some, but I'll like to take a little bit of damage and stand within range of Sorgal, so my Prayer of Mending will just continuously kind of bounce back and forth, and it cranks up my healing, you know, quite a bit. So right here, we also, I kind of need to grip, so there we go, I was about to say, I kind of need to grip Sorgal and try and get him out of that totem, because it's going to reduce the damage that the Death Knight takes by quite a bit. So we do start to get him low with Sorgal's Ascendance proc, but now I think we're about to be on the back foot because those are most of our offensive cooldowns. I've already used Guardian, I've also already used him, and right here I think Sorgal got juked on the kick, so he gets the precog, and Sorgal doesn't have decurse, so he isn't able to dispel my hexes, which is really, really unfortunate. I think he forgot to change into that talent. Honestly, we haven't been fighting a lot of Resto Shamans. They're not super popular at this MMR. He does get the kick on me there. Definitely should have juked that. I think here in a minute I start juking a little bit better. I don't know what I was thinking right there, just free casting that. That was a pretty easy juke. So I try and grip Sorgal over here. I do juke that kick, and I start casting, have the precog going, and I Prayer of Mending. You can see how far behind on mana I am, so this is kind of why this isn't a great matchup for us, because we're not going to win on mana with the Resto Shaman, and the Unholy DK is just going to have like kind of constant pressure. So I do get gripped in here. I still have Symbol of Hope if it gets down too low. I also have my Divine Hymn back up off cooldown. So it's really weird though, because the Death Knight has so many ways to stop my Divine Hymn. If you saw at the beginning of the match how I ran around the pillar just so he wouldn't be able to stop me, and it was still hitting Sorgal. So that's a decent way to do it. He wanted to negate my angel form, so he made Sorgal LOS there. They do get the Hex, and they stun Sorgal. We don't have Life Swap. I think I used it earlier. I think I fat fingered it actually, and I didn't mean to use it. So right here, you see me, I'm going to him around the corner, but he is going to run around and stop me. We still get 3 stacks of it, so that's 30% increased healing. And we're getting into a pretty high dampening here, but the Shaman still has plenty of mana. He pops his Ascendance, and they still have Spirit Link. I don't know if that's our Counter-Strike or... No, it looks like, yeah, that looks like that's our Counter-Strike totem. I was about to say that would be really weird if the Resto Shaman was running Counter-Strike. So I'm completely here. I'm going to run to the top after this stun is done and try and cast Divine Hymn to where the Shaman can't wind shear me up here. and I get a full, almost full Symbol of Hope. So that right there actually won us the match. The fact that they didn't stop my Symbol of Hope. It gave me enough mana to kind of top Sorgal back off, and you can see my Prayer of Mending bouncing back and forth between the two of us. He does get the Tremor Totem down in time. Sorgal gets an Ascendance proc and does take him down before he's able to link. So crazy close match. They definitely would have won had they just stopped my Symbol of Hope, because it gave me basically enough juice to make it to the end of the match. So that was a pretty interesting one. This one is the Holy Paladin and the Assassination Rogue. So, you know, at 2100, 2200 MMR, you're going to fight a lot of the same teams over and over again. This team in particular, most of the teams we were beating in this queue session, this team in particular, we were not. I think this was one of the only times we beat them. We fought them 3 or 4 times, and they beat us twice or 3 times, and we beat them once, just because I have no way to dispel poisons, and the Holy Paladin can kind of just do, you know, a lot of whatever he wants. It's just a really, really bad matchup for us. Our only hope is that we run the Holy Paladin out of mana. And even then, that's not, you know, a super easy thing to do if the Holy Paladin wants to play, you know, kind of conservative. So right here, I do Death the Repentance, and it's kind of on DR now. I do get stunned, though, and I think he gets kicked on Tyr's Deliverance. He comes over and gouges me. It is a DR. And again, I'm just trying to kind of keep Sorgal up, and he has a Mortal Strike that, as you know, dampening continues to climb, is going to get worse and worse. So we actually proc cheat Death there, which is pretty huge. I think that was what ended up winning us this. So I think he repented me out of a CC. So I do go ahead and Guardian here. And we have Divine Him, but yeah, I do go ahead and use it. I was going to say I was going to hold it, but I do remember saying that I was going to go ahead and use it. So you can kind of see here that I'm a little bit ahead in mana. Now I do still have Divine Him. And one thing about Holy Paladins, which you've seen me play mine on this channel, they now pretty much have no MP5. So once they go you know, they have that your 1 minute cooldown, the Daybreak or whatever, to get mana back, as long as they have Holy Shock on a bunch of targets. But other than that, as far as like just passive MP5, they pretty much have no passive mana regen. So if we can get him you know, the best thing that we can do is just stop him from drinking, and then he has the 1 minute Daybreak. So right here, I did Death the Repentance. I was going to say I definitely could have Death that. He does blind me. Sorgal has Power Infusion, and I think, again, yeah, we're still kind of even on mana. I do have Apotheosis. Sorgal goes ahead and uses Bloodlust here, and they're just kind of running because they know we have damage. So I do get a Fear on the Holy Paladin, and I'm trying to just help Sorgal do damage. So he does swap to me. I have Guardian, but I really don't want to use it here, so I'm trying to just hold. I also have my Angel Form, so I go ahead and I think Angel Form really low. So this is super risky because a lot of times you won't get the global to do anything outside of Angel Form. So, you know, he actually could have killed me there. He does get the Blessing of Protection. So again, super risky play, and ended up having to burn Guardian anyway. So in my opinion, not the best there. And the Holy Paladin is completely You can see now that he literally just can't do anything, and we take down the Rogue. He's starting to drink, but it's too late. So honestly, we just kind of got lucky. We ran him they got us, I think, the next 2 times we fought them. So tough matchup. Here's another DK, this time with a Mistweaver instead of a Resto Shaman. I don't know. Oh, actually, it's a Fistweaver. Yeah, this one was interesting because if we can kind of like kite the Fistweaver, we can really just, I don't know, we can just kind of kill them. It was a little bit of a weird one. So he does pop Bloodlust here. I'm going to pop my Angel Form just to kind of conserve mana. and we want to, you see that Phalanx Stomp, we don't want to fight in the middle of that Phalanx Stomp because he can get resets on it. So I do go ahead and fear them. It was honestly kind of a waste of a fear because we are kind of swapping between the Death Knight and the Mistweaver. So I go ahead and pop Guardian, and you'll see me dispel that debuff on Sorgal, you know, as much as I can every time it's up. Those are Zen Spheres. So whenever that's on a target, they take increased damage. So he keeps putting it on Sorgal. That means Sorgal is going to take, I think it's 10% increased damage. I don't know, I'd have to log on my monk and look. But they also have one that they can put on themselves. You can have two active. You can have one that's for your teammates and it's healing, and they'll take like 15% increased healing, and then one that you can put on, you know, an enemy DPS or a healer, and they'll take 10% increased damage. So really strong PvP talent that Mistweavers have, especially in 2v2. So I think right here the Mistweaver gets kicked. He does the Phalanx Stomp. He starts casting a lot of spells, which I don't, you know, I play the cast version of Mistweaver. I'm not a big fan of playing fist weaving, especially now that it's been nerfed. So I'm not familiar with, you know, what his rotation actually should be whenever he's fist weaving, because I do see him casting Soothing Mist a lot. So right here, the Death Knight kind of swaps to me. I have 17 seconds left on my little angel form thing. We also have Power Infusion up. I do get the fear on the Mistweaver there and give Sorgal Power Infusion. I thought the DK was still going to chase me, but he didn't. So now it's kind of awkward because I was slowed and I have to walk around. We do have a lot of pressure, and we're at 48% dampening. And do see the Zen Sphere back up, and you see me dispel it right there. I was a little slow on that one, so they got a little bit of value out of that. So right here, Sorgal sees that the Mistweaver doesn't really have much, and he's ranged his port, so he pops his Ascendance and just goes for the Mistweaver all out, and it is too much. So, you know, whenever the Mistweaver monk bubbled the DK, we made the swap, got the kill. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed these videos. Sorry for the absence in videos. I will be back at it. You know, once we are done with this move and everything, I'll be back uploading on a regular schedule. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.